it?
Oh, boxing IQ. He's a very good fighter. He's stronger. He's very compact. He's like a bull, you know. He's a smart guy.
But Gennady Golovkin responds, and this is what he had to say, quote, he says, Terence Crawford won't have a problem with Canelo's power because he doesn't have any power.
Gennady Golovkin has given a surprising take on the upcoming Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Crawford fight. He believes Crawford won't struggle with Canelo's power, saying Canelo doesn't really have knockout strength. Having fought him 3 times, Golovkin insists Canelo has not changed much over the years. He praises Crawford's strength and ability to adapt, while reminding everyone that every opponent brings their own challenges that require smart preparation.
No, this is boxing. This is more interesting.
Gennady, let me ask you this. You were there ringside. You saw Canelo. Did he look better than what he did in the second fight with you? Does he look like he's improving and getting better?
Marcus, I told you just, you know, every opponent gives you different. Every fight is different. Two fights I had, 2 fights with him. First fight and second fight is different, you know, just.
So you think like,
no, I don't feel like, you know, more power, more speed. No, he stayed the same.
Golovkin has spent 36 full rounds with Canelo Alvarez, which gives his words more value than most. He argues that Canelo depends on bursts of combinations and flashy knockout attempts rather than real power punches that can wear down top-level fighters. For Golovkin, this isn't just talk. It's knowledge from firsthand experience. He has taken Canelo's hardest punches and still believes they lack the natural force expected from such a feared fighter. His view goes against the common idea that Canelo is a dangerous puncher, instead describing him as a boxer who depends more on timing and activity than pure strength.
Golovkin weighs in as everybody's trying to gauge how this fight is going to play out. They anticipate this fight. They want to know how this fight is going to play out. And Gennady Golovkin gives his 2 cents. As his trainer, Abel has been on social media doing multiple interviews and stating that Terence Crawford is simply too small and he's going to lose, right? And Gennady Golovkin, as Abel Sanchez is saying that he's going to get knocked out, right? Because it's too much power. Well, but Gennady Golovkin responds, and this is what he had to say, quote, he says, Terence Crawford won't have a problem with Canelo's power because he doesn't have any power. He said, I fought Canelo at 160 and at 68. And I could say he has fast punches. He has fast combinations, but I wouldn't say there were a lot of power there or power punches or knockout punches. You saw that. You saw this clean shots that I took and he brought, and there were no results, end quote. So Gennady Golovkin is saying he hit me with clean shots. You saw him hit me with clean shots, and the results was I didn't go anywhere. Now, I know people will say, well, Gennady Golovkin is naturally bigger than Canelo.
Although Golovkin's former trainer says Terence Crawford stands no chance against Canelo Alvarez, Golovkin himself doesn't fully agree. He acknowledges Crawford's sharp skills and tactical brain, which could create real problems for Canelo. This makes the fight look far more competitive than many experts first suggested.
Many still see this as a one-sided beatdown in favor of Canelo Alvarez. Former Golovkin trainer Abel Sanchez, who's been very critical as of lately and said that Canelo will just play with Terence Crawford and by the second half, it'll just be like a sparring session. Sanchez said that Canelo will not only dictate the pace throughout the evening, if Triple G himself couldn't even hurt Canelo, then Crawford's chances are definitely not that great. Sanchez said, quote, Crawford is a great fighter, but that's why weight divisions exist. Neither Bivol could hurt him, nor could my fighter in 2 fights. Triple G's former trainer has also repeatedly emphasized that Crawford should have moved up in weight class a long time ago, and that his jump should have been more gradual and steady, and suggested that skipping divisions will definitely play a role in him potentially losing badly to Canelo Alvarez.
Golovkin's 3-fight rivalry with Canelo is still one of boxing's most debated stories. The fact that he continues to question Canelo's supposed punching power after so many rounds speaks volumes. His opinion has weight because it comes from someone who has endured Canelo's hardest efforts more than once. When Golovkin says Crawford can handle Canelo's attack, it instantly becomes major news in the boxing world. Fans and analysts argue over his words because they challenge the image of Canelo as a feared finisher. Golovkin's view reopens doubts about how much of Canelo's reputation is marketing and how much is real.
Boxing Doctor News. Hey boxing fans, remember the epic Golovkin-Canelo trilogy? Well, get this. GGG once spilled the tea on Canelo's punching power, and it's not what you'd expect. Picture this. 2 legends, 3 fights, and a whole lot of controversy. GGG said Canelo's punches were fast, but not knockout material. Can you believe it? He claimed those clean shots brought no results. Now, fast forward to today. GGG's been out of the ring since their last bout, but rumors are swirling about a comeback. Meanwhile, Canelo's gearing up for a massive showdown with Terence Crawford. The big question is, will Canelo prove GGG wrong and land that knockout punch? It's been a while since his last stoppage. The boxing world is buzzing, and we can't wait to see what happens next.
Training camp rumors add even more suspense to this fight. According to Showbiz The Adult, Canelo Alvarez has been careful in sparring with Jaron Ennis, avoiding risks to save himself for the big event. While this might be smart, some believe it shows doubts in his preparation. More dramatic reports even claim Canelo was knocked down in the 3rd round by Ennis and struggled with his speed and power. These stories are unconfirmed, but they grabbed attention from fans and experts. If Canelo is showing weakness in sparring, it could be a warning that his form is slipping. For Crawford, who is skilled at finding flaws, this could become the perfect chance to take control.
And let's talk about what we do know about Canelo Alvarez bringing boots to training camp and what we can concur. First, you must understand that Saul Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Bud Crawford is September 13th. Okay, that's just a few weeks away. What, almost 3 weeks away, something like that. It's just a few weeks away. So to expect them to have hardcore sparring, like real sparring, where they're fighting each other and they're really just going hard and sparring, pause, I don't really see that happening because you don't want a cut or anything, and you don't want anything to threaten the fight September 13th. Also, not only is Canelo Alvarez fighting soon, September 13th, but Boots Ennis, he has to fight against Lima come October. So you don't want Canelo Alvarez beating up on Boots either and cutting him or anything like that, blackening his eye or detached retina or anything like that. You don't want any incidents like that. So understand that they're probably sparring light to mid. They're definitely not going hard in there. Okay, pause. So we have to really put it aside that either one, I don't think Canelo will be beating the hell out of Boots or Boots beating the hell out of Canelo. But what I can see is if Boots is moving around and Canelo can't catch him, like let's say Boots is like pop, pop, piecing him up with some light work and Canelo can't get to him, which, you know, that's kind of different than a real fight. In a real fight, you know, Canelo will be breaking you down and then you kind of get tired over time. But still, if they're working on cutting off the ring, if Canelo can't and Boots is hitting him with, you know, piecing him up and moving and slipping and sliding and he just can't get to him, that'll be some value added and something to be concerned about, which is why I said.
Coach Greg Hackett looks at the fight as a possible passing of the torch. He admits Canelo was once seen as the best pound-for-pound fighter, but no champion rules forever. Every great eventually meets the challenger who ends their run. Hackett believes Crawford could be that man. He points to Crawford's skill, focus, and hunger as reasons why he might begin a new era in boxing. For Hackett, this fight is bigger than belts or rankings. It's about history and the right moment.
Canelo is the guy, right? But everybody know that shit got to come to an end one day. Nothing is forever. And I'm not saying this is now. I'm not saying that. But Bud could possibly be the end for him because Bud has what it takes. I'm not saying Bud will win, but I'm just saying he has what it takes. He's not afraid of Canelo. You know what I'm saying? 2, he has the skills to be able to deal with Canelo. Does he have the power? I don't know, but he is a puncher. He's a puncher because his record says so. You know what I'm saying? Canelo is a puncher as well. So what I see is a great respect for each other, but after 4 rounds, I see a war breaking out. And
Oh
whoever
shit.
whoever can stand it, meaning whoever could take that shit that's coming their way, that's who wins the fight. You know what I
Man,
mean?
I don't know if Bud wants that. I don't know if Bud wants a war with that dude.
Yeah,
That
I mean,
cat,
but
granted, he got a granite ass chin. But you saying he's a puncher because his record says so. So you gotta
Yeah.
assume that you making the assumption that he can crack. Because Errol said he can crack. That's what Errol came out. Errol, I think, said he thought, was getting Canelo. I don't know whether that's, him trying to pay him back for saying that, for what Terence said about him. This other fight, man, I got it in the title, man. And I appreciate you letting me pick your brain, man. Because I'm going to steal your prediction. And then I'm going to give you credit for it at the same time, dog. I ain't going to be like everybody else. I'm going to steal your shit and give you credit for it at the same time, dog. Devin, I'm starting to think, man, maybe Devin Haney's a little underrated, man. Going into this Brian Norman fight. Like, I've had my own personal issues with the dude and his pops, but that shit aside, the dude knows what he's doing in the boxing ring. He's been in there with a bunch of fights. He's a championship world-class level fighter, bro.
John Ryder adds insight from his own sparring with Canelo. He remembers going 12 hard rounds in a demanding session, showing Canelo's work rate and stamina. Ryder explains that Canelo is steady and tough to wear down over time, which helps explain his long stay at the top. His words balance the story by proving that while some think Canelo's power is exaggerated, his all-around skills, fitness, and experience still make him a serious threat to anyone who fights him.
Fight for him, waiting for a big fight, and giving him, like, he had his hands full with you, and obviously there was triumph for you there, not just going the distance, but going the distance with severe injury as well, right?
Of course, yeah, and I think that I want to be a trainer where I can go to people, look, I don't want to tell them things and they go, right, well, listen to him because he's been there, he's done it himself. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to be telling them to run through walls and not having done it myself. Like, if you need to bite down and push through because you still got a shot in this game, then do it. And listen, I've stood there toe to toe with one of the greatest pound for pound fighters out there, nose broken in the second, and pushed him to the 12th final round. But I know I can call on that in the future with fighters I train and just say, look, now you've got to dig deep, now you've got to pull through, and it's going to hurt today, but tomorrow's another day.
Although Jaron Ennis gained buzz for sparring with Canelo, he also faced criticism. Some suggest he held back or even sparred lightly for money instead of giving full effort. These claims create doubts about what truly happens behind closed doors in training. Such talk matters because sparring stories often shape public views of a fighter's readiness. If Ennis really went easy on Canelo, then fans may be misled. But if he genuinely exposed flaws, Crawford's team could use that knowledge to their advantage.
Pathetic. Purely pathetic. Terence Crawford's team inflicting race in this situation in reference to Jerome Bruce Ennis training and sparring with Canelo Alvarez, Mexican superstar, Latino superstar, the 4th world champion, super middleweight undisputed, because Jerome Bruce Ennis, a brother, is training with Canelo Alvarez, then he's a sellout to his people? Really? This what Terence Crawford's team had to say in reference to Jerome Bruce Ennis, the former unified champion of the welterweight division, training and sparring with Canelo Alvarez.
He sold out. That's all I can say. He sold out. Now,
it's pathetic, man. Because he's a sellout because he's training with Canelo. Hey, yo, Bernie the Boxer and people that, and Terence Crawford's members that feel this way. Do y'all feel the same way about Isaú? Yeah. The Latino trainer, the Guatemalan trainer that been training Terence Crawford since 14 years old. That's how y'all look at him? Y'all look at him like he's a sellout? Is he a sellout to Latinos because he trains Terence Crawford? Yo, for real, I never heard that in the sport of boxing, where Latino trains with a black fighter and he's a sellout to Latinos. I never seen it. Why is this self-victimhood, this ingrained hate that some blacks have for Latinos?
Analysts Davies and Duke McKenzie highlight the importance of this fight in today's boxing world. Too often, big stars avoid risky matchups, but Canelo versus Crawford is a rare exception. The fight brings together two of the most skilled fighters in the sport in a matchup fans have been asking for. For them, this is not just another date on the schedule, but a defining event where greatness meets greatness. They believe such moments are rare, and this fight gives everyone a chance to see history and legacy being written.
Great, marvelous Marvin Hagler became a friend in life and was an amazing man.
An
amazing character. I've likened this fight to those two when they met, with one going up in weight, quite a big step. I've mentioned it to the two guys when I saw them in Riyadh last week as well. First of all, I was backing Terence Crawford to win this on points, with his skills to pay the bills and his speed and his timing and his spitefulness and the fact that he's raising his game. When we see here as well, by the way, the pushing and shoving in New York in the earlier press conference, I think he's poked the bear a little bit.
Yeah.
And I think Canelo's very dangerous. And I think Canelo might win this.
My money's on Crawford. My money's clearly on Crawford. I mean, there's so many different ways of looking at this fight, but I really believe
you like it.
It's the best fight in world boxing bar none at any weight division
because of the stylistic matchup, because of the raise in levels, and because of the weight differential.
Yeah, and because we're looking at two of the best undisputed modern day boxers that have ever lived, in my opinion, modern day boxers that have lived. In this current generation that we're in now, you're not going to get two better fighters fighting at this time in their careers.
Jaron Ennis has also spoken about Crawford's decision. He warns that moving up to fight a naturally bigger man like Canelo without a warm-up fight could be a risky move. Ennis explains that size and strength differences matter, and usually it is smarter to slowly adjust to a new weight class. His comments bring a note of caution, reminding people that although Crawford's skills are world-class, he is still stepping into new territory against a naturally larger rival.
But I think you gotta lean more towards Canelo, because like I said before, he been putting big guys out and down, and Canelo not even really a 68 pounder. He probably really should be at 60 maybe, and he been hurting these guys. I think he be dropping these guys and things like that. So, and them guys be way bigger than him come fight night. I know that for sure. They be probably close to 200 pounds, and he dropping those guys like that. So, I don't know. It's gonna be a great fight. The fans want to see it. So, so be it. I think Crawford should take a warm up fight. At like 60, or like at least at 60, just to get his body, to fill into somebody a little bit bigger, and things like that. I know when you go up a weight, you gotta, develop that power and not develop the power, but like put that muscle on and be heavy and things like that. So he might not want to take a fight because he's trying to build up right now. But I think he should, just to stay sharp and that way he don't have like a long layoff or anything like that.
Fighter Gerald Miller offers support for Crawford's choice. He praises Crawford's drive and determination, saying those traits can win fights even against bigger men. Miller dismisses worries about size, believing that willpower and mental toughness often decide great battles. He argues that Crawford's hunger to succeed could outweigh any physical disadvantage. His outlook adds optimism, showing that many in the boxing world still believe Crawford has what it takes to achieve a career-defining victory.